Hello student. In today's session we will discuss the next part of our unit 1, that evaluation of the friction in a rolling process. We have to discuss or in this topic we will discuss how the friction will affect on a force or on the other things of the rolling process. Okay. So first of all we know that what is meant by rolling. Rolling is the process where, suppose this is a roller, these are the two rollers, these are rotating in an opposite direction, and this is the stream of the material. Okay, this is the stream of the material. Initially it having a thickness Ti and final thickness is Tf. As we discussed in the last session, that is what is meant by rolling. Rolling is the one type of the forming process which is used to reduce the thickness of the material. So these are the two rollers, and this is the raw material which is passing through this roller, and due to this force the thickness of the material reduces. Initially it has a thickness Ti and finally it has a thickness Tf. Okay, so here we can write as delta T is equal to Ti minus Tf. When this material is passing through this roller, it has a contact here. This is the contact surface, and in that region the friction will introduce because of the contact between this material and this roller. Okay, so this friction is depend on the which type of this rolling process is, hot working process or cold working process. We will discuss this later, but we have to analyze that how we can calculate this friction or how this friction will affect on the power consumptions. Okay, so this is the enlarged view of the roller. This is the center O. Okay, and this is my material. Okay, so this distance, suppose I will mark this point as a B. This is point A. Here is the point C, and here is angle alpha. Angle alpha is called as the angle of deformation. Okay, here angle alpha is called as the angle of deformation. Okay, now if we consider here, this length A to B is called as the contact length. Length A to B is called as the contact length. Here O to A is the radius of the roller, or O to B is also radius of the roller. Okay, so from a figure, if we consider here cos of alpha, from a figure cos of alpha is equal to OC upon OA. OC upon OA. Okay, now we can write this OC is equal to O to B minus B to C divided by OA. This OC is equal to this OB minus BC. OB minus BC. So OB upon OA minus BC upon OA, and O to B is the radius of the roller, and O to A is also radius of the roller. So this is equal to 1 minus B to C divided by OA is equal to cos of alpha. Okay. Now B to C is this amount of distance, means this thickness, that is half of the delta t. This B to C, is the half of the delta t, because this is the distance B to C. Okay, so we can write here B to C is equal to delta t by 2. B to C is equal to delta t by 2. Now, cos of alpha is equal to 1 minus delta t upon 2, and this O to A. O to A is the radius of the roller. Radius of the roller. Okay. Now we can simplify this. Delta t upon 2r is equal to 1 minus cos of alpha. 1 minus cos of alpha. We know that 1 minus cos of alpha is equal to 2 into sine square of alpha by 2. This is equal to 2 into sine square of alpha by 2. Sine square of alpha by 2. This is equal to delta t upon 2r. If we simplify this, delta t upon this 2 on this side, 4r is equal to sine square of alpha by 2. If we take the square root of on both the sides, so then 1/2 into square root of delta t upon r is equal to sine of alpha by 2. Sine of alpha by 2. And this sine of alpha by 2 is taken in radian. Then sine of alpha by 2 is approximately equal to alpha by 2. Here, sine of alpha by 2 is approximately equal to alpha by 2. Therefore, alpha by 2 is equal to 1/2 into square root of delta t upon r, and therefore alpha is equal to square root of delta t by r. Here we get that alpha is equal to delta t upon r. Okay, so this is our first derivation for alpha. Now we will do the force analysis of the material, force analysis of the load. Okay, this is my roller. Okay, here is point O, point A. Okay, when the contact of the roller is start, when the contact of the roller is start at point A and it ends at point B. So at the point A, there will be two force acts on this material by the roller. So one force is this, that is normal force, and another force is tangential to that is equal to tangential force. And here is angle alpha. At that condition, or at the starting of contact at point A, this roller apply the normal force, that is N, and tangential force T. Okay, and when this roller is rolling in this direction, this material will move forward. This material will move forward, and therefore the forward direction force is equal to the forward force, the component of this T in this direction is T into cos of alpha. The component of this T to move this material from this side to this side. We want to move this material from this side to this side. We have to take the component of this force, tangential force T and normal force N along this direction or along the x direction. Therefore, the component of T along the x direction is T into cos of alpha, and component of N along the x direction is N into sine of alpha, but it is in this direction, therefore it is equal to minus n into sine alpha. We have taken the x component of this both the forces. Okay, so this is equal to, and to move this material from this side to this side, this forward force should be a greater than 0. When this force is greater than 0, when this forward force is greater than 0, only at that condition this material will move from this side to this side. Therefore, we can write it as T into cos of alpha minus n into sine of alpha is greater than 0. This should be a greater than 0. So, T into cos of alpha should be greater than n into sine of alpha. So, T upon n is greater than sine upon cos is equal to tan of alpha. T upon n should be greater than tan of alpha, and when this normal force, n is the normal force, T is the tangential force, the component, this tangential force is equal to mu times the normal force due to the friction. This tangential force is equal to mu times the normal force. Therefore, we can write it as T is equal to mu into n. T is equal to mu into n. Therefore, mu is equal to T divided by n. Mu is equal to T divided by n, and we can write mu as a coefficient of the friction. Mu is the coefficient of the friction, and we have a, that is mu is equal to tan of beta. We can write, we have a formula that mu is equal to tan of beta, where beta is the angle of friction, and from this equation we can write that mu is equal to T divided by n. If we put this value here, we will get mu is greater than tan of beta. Mu is greater than tan of beta. Sorry, if we put here T by n is equal to mu, so mu is greater than tan of alpha. Mu is greater than tan of alpha, and tan of beta is greater than tan of alpha. Here beta is greater than alpha. Beta is greater than alpha, but at particular value or for minimum value of mu, this mu is equal to tan of alpha. This mu minimum is equal to tan of alpha, and therefore mu minimum is equal to square root of delta t divided by square root of delta t divided by r, and this is the friction in a rolling process. This is the friction, that is, we have to evaluation of the friction in a rolling process. So this is the friction in a rolling process. This is the formula to find out the friction in a rolling process. Okay. Similarly, we will find out the force analysis of the rolling process. We will learn the force analysis of the rolling process. We have formulated stress. Sigma F is equal to force upon area. Sigma F is equal to force upon area, where sigma F, we will take this average value of sigma F. sigma F average. Sigma F average is the flowing stress of the average flowing stress of the material, and F is the force. Therefore, F is equal to sigma F average into area. Sigma F average into area. And what is the area in the rolling process? In a rolling process, the area is this area. So this is our L and this is our W. Contact length and W. So we can write it as a F is equal to sigma F average into L into W. L into W. Okay. And sigma F average is the value of flow stress, average flow stress, and this can be also calculated. Is equal to K into epsilon raised to n divided by n plus 1, where K is the strength coefficient of the material. K is the strength coefficient of the material. Epsilon is the strain value. Epsilon is the strain value. N is the strain hardening coefficient. Here N is the strain hardening coefficient. So these are the some formulas to calculate the friction in a material or a force in a rolling process. Okay. So this is the minimum friction in a rolling process. Okay. This is the minimum friction in a rolling process, and this is the stress, average flow stress in a rolling process. Okay. Now we will discuss that force analysis of the forging process. Forging process. What is meant by forging process? Forging process, here is, suppose this is the die. This is my raw material. And this is punch. Okay. So when this punch apply the force on a material, then the shape and size of this raw material get changes, and this process is called as the forging process. So we will discuss here the force analysis in a open die forging process. Here you can see that the die is open, so we will consider here the open die forge analysis. Okay. See here this is a die, this is a cylindrical raw material, and this is a punch. Cylindrical raw material having a height that is h at instant. At any instant height is h, and at any instant diameter is d. Okay. So here when we apply the force, when we apply the force by a punch on this material, its height get reduces and diameter get increases. Okay, so we consider here hi is equal to initial height of the material. Initial height of material. Initial height of the material, and h is the height of the material at any instant. Height of the material at any instant. So strain in the material, we can write here strain is equal to ln of hi divided by h. Hi divided by h. This is the value of the strain. Okay. Now F is equal to sigma F average into area, sigma F average into area, where sigma F average is the flow stress, average flow stress of the material, and A is the area of the material at that instance. Okay. If we see in this condition, when the force is applied on a material, its height get reduces and its diameter get increases. So as the height reduces, area will increase. As the height reduces, area will increase, and which area? Cross sectional area. Suppose this is my material and I apply the force on this direction, so cross sectional area is above this area, perpendicular to the force. So this is the cylindrical component. So area in this case is equal to pi by 4 into d square. As this height reduces, this A will increase. Okay, and here sigma F average having the formula that is K into E raised to. K into E raised to, and this E is the strain, N is the strain hardening coefficient, and K is the strain coefficient of the material. Strain coefficient of the material. This is the force analysis of the forging process when we not considering the friction. Here the friction component is absent, so we have not considered the friction in this case. But if we consider the friction in this case, then this formula it changes and it is equal to sigma F average is equal to F into this F is equal to sigma F average into area into SF. If we consider the friction, then this formula becomes sigma F average S F into A, where SF is called as a shape factor and SF is equal to 1 plus 0.4 times mu into d divided by mu into d divided by h. So this is the force analysis in the case of forging process, and here is the process is open die forging process. Okay, so it is enough for today's session. That is what we have discussed in this session. We have discussed that is friction in a case of rolling process, force analysis in a rolling process, and force analysis in a forging process. In next session, we will discuss some numerical which is based on these two methods.